Welcome to Industrial Applications Level 2. This video is on working with branches, Part 1. A fundamental part of creating relay logic or ladder logic is the ability to create different conditions to allow for the same operation to occur, or to prevent the wrong combination of events from having an unforeseen adverse effect on the process. Remember, first and foremost, the job is about control. Branching is used to create an alternative path to resolve an output. They create an OR condition in a program. We're going to start by looking at how to create a branch. Up on the top on our menu, you'll find one that looks like a square stuck, and if you put your cursor over it, you'll see a pop-up saying the word branch. If you don't see this menu, look for this top arrow pointing down, and when you hover over it says instruction library. So someone might have used the computer or terminal that you're working with before, and they might have buried it simply because they needed the space to see more rungs. So if you don't see it, just click on that and that will bring it back up. So you grab that and drag it and you put it close to where you want it. Now it is specific to location. Let me grab another one and show you what I mean. If I put it ahead of the contact called MCR, it intuitively knows to put it under that particular contact. It's a different situation when you start working on outputs. We're going to focus on inputs at this point simply because they're the most common to work on. Now, when you put a jumper or a branch with no conditions inside it, what you've effectively done is created a jumper. In other words, this oven warm-up instruction, the second this is downloaded to the processor, will become true. There is a path of no obstruction to that output. Some people will use these as a means of temporarily fixing an issue. The difficulty and problem with that is that they tend to be forgotten, and then it becomes a permanent fix, and then when something goes wrong, they go to look at it and go, oh, that's not right. In the future, if you have to, for whatever reason, have a contact that is not doing its job, there's other fixes that we can show you, and that we will show you, that are preferable simply because they're easier to find and they're easier to correct. Now, I've created two branches, but I don't require one. So I want to delete one. Now, here's the thing with these branches. You have to be careful where you select the delete function. If you pick the wrong side, it will have an adverse effect. So let me start by pushing on the front here, and you can see I have different places that I can delete it. If I take the top one and press delete, I've just lost the branch and the contact. Fortunately, we have the Windows shortcut Control Z, and that restores my mistake. Okay, so I didn't want to do that. So let's just try it on the beginning, on the bottom here, and we go delete, and the branch is gone. Control Z. Now, if I start putting contacts in it, you will find that the left hand corner button, basically, and the right corner will behave differently. Right now, there's nothing in it, so selecting either one doesn't make any difference. Okay, so I have here that when the master control relay is true and I press my start button, my oven warm-up should go. Now, this is not a setting or latching coil. It is a standard momentary coil. So what I have to do is I have to add a contact in here so that once the oven starts up, it will seal itself in. If the master control relay drops out, then the oven will drop out. So I simply need to drag another contact. When you see the plus sign, you're in the right spot. and I can just simply put oven warm up. There it is. And I have successfully completed my warm up, my branch to make my warm up run. I have an unidentified variable called start push button. Okay, let's fix that because that's what we do. And it's probably going to be a physical real one, so I'm going to zip up to my inputs. And I'm going to write in here startup, and that's resolved that. And this doesn't seem to like that. Type any pool instance. I've never heard of that. Okay, let's go right click, variable selector. It's there, oven warm up. Okay. Now this is where it's telling me it's already in use. Okay, so there must be a local variable with the same name. This is my global scope, so I'm going to change the name slightly. I'm going to go OK, and now it's satisfied. So somewhere I've got that previous bool used, and it doesn't like to have bools with the same name because you've already used it. It's confusing. Does not the software will not allow you to create an ambiguous state within the PLC. Okay, so that's it. We've made a branch, we've added a couple of contacts, it's ready to rock and roll.